motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 12th.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? I guess I'm beginning. Report from the COA. Ralph, if you're
Well,
ready, we can skip to Van if you
skip
want
that,
to get your copy ready.
if you will, yeah. I'll be late.
Van, we're gonna jump over to you with the rec
I
commission.
have nothing.
Nothing from the
I'll
rec
tell you
commission.
why. We had a lack of quorum for that December meeting. We had a bunch of guys that were out sick.
I hope they're all feeling better.
Well,
Well,
I
it's
guess-
common right now, though, we can't see.
I guess Eric came back yesterday. Lee's been out. And John Mahan just got over COVID. 5 days of, so he's ready to go next week. So that's our problem. Guys, and then last month we had 2 or 3 guys out. So
Okay.
hopefully next month.
So here's the whole block of you.
Ralph, anything from the COA?
Well, yeah, actually, for a change, I'm relatively well prepared. What do you know? I've got 4 or 5 sheets worth of stuff here. Never mind. Just wanted to let you know that we're getting back into normal mode, I guess. There's several new programs which I think are worth talking about for just a second. One is they're doing an academic course on philosophy and film. Now, this is taught by some retired professor of literature, philosophy, and humanities. It goes for 13 weeks. Each week there's a lecture and a film. And some of the films are classic films like On the Waterfront and some of those kinds of things. And somehow he talks about the philosophy of these things and the link between those and films. It should be very interesting, I think. There's another group now that's starting, it's called the Memoir Writing Group, where folks are taught to write memoirs of themselves, kind of an autobiography, which I think is a neat idea for grandchildren and so on. Unfortunately, that's already underway and it's a little late to register, but they're talking about doing it again. There's another course on Alzheimer's prevention, to give some folks that are either starting to suffer with or caretakers some hints on how to handle the Alzheimer's situation. It's pretty nice.
Is that just an ongoing meeting? Or
Pardon?
is that just an ongoing meeting that they have?
Yeah, it's, the details are in the council on aging bulletin, but I've forgotten what the, let's see. The Alzheimer's thing is, Fridays, yeah, from February 18th till March 11th, 4 weeks worth.
Okay.
So that's pretty interesting. There's another one, I think is pretty fascinating. It's brain longevity. Oh no, this one I'm talking about is Reframing Valentine's Day. And it's designed for single folks or whose partner is chronically ill or those who haven't had a romantic moment in a long time. And they're talking about, the person teaching it is a specialist in physical intimacy and sexual things.
All right.
Which I thought was pretty interesting. Anyway, and that's on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day, of course, for an hour. They're continuing now, we're continuing to Tai Chi, the Qi Gong, which I've never heard, it's a form of Tai Chi apparently. Charlie and his senior fit classes are ongoing. Balance boosters with Sue Giselle is ongoing. There's now a COVID support group. Of course, we have legal assistance, there's a couple of lawyers that offer their services free for nothing for seniors who need some legal help. There's the blood pressure clinic that Sue runs. Foot care clinic, which folks that can't bend over much to get to their toes can use. And I think that's a pretty good deal. And they're, again, bringing back the tax aid thing again this year, which is AARP help with your filing your tax returns for low income and moderate income seniors. That's a wonderful program that I've helped some folks get with that, it's really good. Medical rides are resuming, the Cranberry Coach is picking up, more people now, they've expanded the number of folks that they can put aboard. The lunch program, of course, is ongoing, mostly some in, some pickup, and a couple of deliveries. And then the Homeless Prevention Council is coming here once a week, which I was not aware of. They come every Tuesday afternoon, and they're good. They used to come to the pantry as well. I think they may still. But really good folks that are a lot of help to those that can use some help in that area. So that's about it.
Well, that's a lot, and it all sounds great.
And again, for anybody who might be watching this on TV, the Council on Aging Bulletin is really a marvelous resource. There's all kinds of good information in there, so I would urge folks to take a look at it. Pick them up here at the Council on Aging. That's
All
it.
right. So we'll be looking forward to your memoir, right?
If I get some time.
If you get some time in between volleyball and.
So many things going on.
You know, if I can, it's interesting that the library started, I think, last month doing the filming, kind of the same concept that you can
Yeah,
record, and they've had, I guess, some really good success. They've had several that have done really well.
yeah,
Of memoirs, but also just leaving for your family, your more family.
yeah, they discussed that in here as well. I didn't cover that, but.
I love it, I'm definitely all for it. I mean, I know that I, personally would have loved to have had my grandparents, shared their lives with us
Yeah.
a little, just more fully than, from what they experienced and,
Yeah.
And even, when you think about it, like my parents and stuff like that, they could, but it's something good for,
Yeah, I agree.
for the generations. Old business? Okay. Wait room
So
key?
thank you, yes, I have gathered, I didn't include these in your packet, mostly because I don't think they're helpful. I've gathered everything from, I'm sorry, Ralph.
That's all right, no, I can reach, thank you.
So what I did, you can certainly take a look at these. We gathered all of the information on what other towns are charging and providing. But the truth is, we're also different. It's not comparing apples to apples. It's really, the one thing I did find is that everyone has a time limit of what they rent for. So, they range from 1 hour to 6 hours, but everyone seemed to have a time limit. And we did not have that. We had a use limit. So that's something to really look at. But again, I think that one of our best things will be to really look at, we have everything from the Y to Truro to Provincetown to Chatham, the Gus Canty Center. We reached out to Bourne. We tried to see what we could glean to bring forward. And the truth is, I think that we're all a little bit too different to put something together that makes it, our rooms aren't comparable, what we're doing isn't comparable, some are enterprise funds, some are town run. So it is my recommendation that what we do is really put together a meeting before we go to the selectmen, just to hear from the public, to see what they're thinking on the fees, and then we can make some educated conversations before we present, so that, I know that we would have to have, a meeting with the selectmen, and I 100% agree with that. But I think that we wanna make sure that we know what the public is looking for and what we're doing well and what we can do differently. And the best way to find that out is to ask the users, so that is my recommendation.
So one question I have is, I understand that they're talking about, saying for an hour or 2 hours or something. Most of our rooms, how is it different for COVID? Because think of it this way, I don't know that, are there as many people meeting? Or are we back to the full groups, back to meeting?
We are not back to everyone coming in. There are several groups who choose not to come back in. There's, I'll use one that's a dance group, and they're not comfortable, the instructor is not comfortable. She wears a mask all the time, and she doesn't want people dancing in a mask, so she's decided not to come back. Not that we don't have the space and provide it for her, but that's her choice, and we're respecting that. Some groups have decided that they're going to not meet for a little while, and as we get, as you see COVID ebb and flow, you can see that in our bookings too. People definitely drop off. What we do is make sure that when people come, we're providing enough space. If the concern merits it, then we're limiting numbers. You know, if we're having a Zumba class in the multi-purpose room, what used to hold 30 people unmasked is now holding 10 people masked. I mean, we're just adhering to that. I'm sure that you watch the selectmen's meeting. There are a lot of offices that are meeting with some resistance from people. I will tell you that this building is not spared from that. In fact, I think it's because we're open from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. We have a lot of people coming in and a lot of people with different views. The one thing that is really important to me is that my staff is not abused. People can come in and yell at me, that's my job, and I don't like it, but I'll take that. But really how they're treated.
Why would they do that?
Oh my goodness, gosh, it's so sweet. They do that because they don't want to wear masks, or they don't agree with a policy, or they don't like something, or they saw a meeting and somebody didn't have it on, so why should they have to wear it? And so we get a lot of that. You know, we have different groups, different kinds of groups. One of the two of the groups that we have play instruments. They're blowing into, that's very different than sitting around a table having a meeting. Those have different structures and guidelines that we have to follow, and we're in constant contact with the health department. And they're supporting us and saying, no, of course they can't be blowing, and I mean, that's just what you don't want happening.
Exactly.
But people want what they want
I hear you.
sometimes, so, again,
No,
the staff is, I will vigorously, and I'll say that to anyone, if people are upset about what's happening in the community center, you have every right to be, please come in and see me, but the staff is not where you should really be taking it
Well,
out.
you know, as far as the senior softball league is concerned, we have 300 softball players, and last year with the COVID-19, we put together a committee and put together some very strict regulations and policies and protocols. And if they didn't abide by them, they couldn't play. They were gone. It was as simple as that. You had to wear a mask when you're up at bat. You had to wear a mask when you got down to first base. And because the first baseman stands very close to the base, the only thing is the outfielders that are distant, they didn't have to wear masks.
Sure.
We had wipes for them. They had to wipe down their bats. They couldn't use couldn't use the same bat twice, okay, without a wipe. We had the washers for their hands. We had all that stuff there. They were 6 feet. They didn't sit in the dugout. And if they neglected to follow those policies, and I was there just about every night, we were gone.
Right, and you're outside,
You couldn't play.
you know, and,
Yeah.
you know,
And we didn't have one case all year last summer.
that's awesome.
Not one case. Yeah.
So all we can do is.
You know, you're gonna get resistance. Some of the guys, what the hell do I have to wear a mask for, and why am I doing this, and why are you doing that? Those are the rules, those are the protocols, and if you don't wanna follow them,
Right.
don't play. Go home.
So you're not making these rules,
No, they're not my
Right.
rules, I'm following the town rules.
Right.
They
Yeah.
come from the health department
Right.
and certainly supported by the selectmen.
Right.
I don't have any additional rules that I've put in place.
and that's what people need to understand. We're
Right,
following the rules
and
of the
honestly, we
town.
have, you know, there's a lot of people in this town, we have some wonderful people who are great and coming in and following every policy, and then there's some
Yeah, you
people
get
who are
the-
just
mhm.
angry about
Everything.
what's happening,
And that's
so,
fine. None of us are thrilled with it, so.
so that's where we are. I just wanted to make that plea to everyone, if you're upset, please don't take it out on the front desk staff, they are clearly following the rules that have been set. You can come see me, call me, I'm happy to have any conversation you want with you, but please don't take it out on the staff.
My one other question, to circle back around to the room rates and based on the times that the other groups, the other buildings or whatever may impose, do we have any groups that are like meeting for an extensive period? Do we have a,
We do. We do. Some groups meet for less time. So our original policy was you could meet up to 104 times. So we have groups that meet up to 104 times, but they meet like an hour a day, an hour for the 104 times. But then we have other groups who are meeting for whole blocks of times, but don't meet for all 104 times. So those are the things we need to look at.
okay,
Some of the people that we looked at used our policies as guidelines. Chatham opened after us, so they took some of our information. And my understanding is that they're looking at theirs too. 104 is a lot of uses, so I think those are the things that we should look at. I have my staff putting together how many groups actually use it that many times. The problem is I'm not doing it for this year or last year, because clearly we were in a different place. So we're getting some data from before, we're just gathering that up now,
okay.
so.
The newsletter?
I've attached one of the newsletters for you, it should be in your packet. Is it? I hope. Yep.
Very
So-
well done, extremely well done.
So we're, it's a work in progress, and I can see a lot of things I'd like to change and make better. It is nowhere near as phenomenal as the Council on Aging's newsletter, and honestly, that is just exceptional. Emily does a tremendous job on that. We're actually looking to see if we have people, I know you're doing a memoir class, something like that, but we're actually looking to see if we have any volunteers who like to do this kind of thing, writing, and really, we'd like to get more people involved with us in that way too. So, I just put the newsletter in because we're getting more and more people asking for it, which is a great thing. Ours are only online, and we print a few here. We don't mail them out like the Council on Aging
Who
does.
did these? Did you do this yourself? Or you have?
The whole staff does it.
Wonderful
The whole
job.
staff, everyone.
They need to be complimented on a job well done.
I will pass that on, because I know they would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Want me to keep going?
Sure.
So under new business is the annual report.
Before we go into
Oh,
new business, can we do something more with old business?
Sure. Well,
Yeah, that's it.
Can we?
please.
I'm looking at the last month's minutes, okay?
Yep.
And Mrs. Chilako has talked about LED board. Where are we with that?
So she asked me to go look at the one in Yarmouth, and I did. And then I spoke to the people in Yarmouth, and one of the things Angie liked about it, and I don't wanna speak for her, but she thought that it got a lot of people's attention. And I'm getting a different story from the people who are there. They say it's like anything else. At first, people always read it, and then now it's just become part of the scenery, they're not, it's like our posters and signs, we put them up. And at first, people are always like, oh, but now it's become second nature. And I don't actually know the rules, and I will check, we just got a new building in person inspector, so, I don't know the rules on LED signs in the town of Harwich, but I know he's in charge of the sign policy, so I'll reach out to him, Dan.
The other one is last month we talked about the rec department and the facilities committee looking into a pavilion. And there was a suggestion, I think, by Larry, that if it's a CPC event or activity, that both Eric and you should get together to talk about the potential of that, and where would the funds come from, and how much would it be, and so on and on.
Right.
Has anything been done about that?
It wouldn't be in this round of CPC, because those were already due.
Right.
So we're letting Eric he has some on the CPC already.
Okay,
So he's presenting, and he's been out, but I did not, that's on my list to
Okay.
follow up, but I
Okay.
thought I would let him.
we have a meeting in a couple of weeks, I'll bring that up with him
Yeah,
again, see
but
where we
he
are
is-
with that.
He does have some already on there, so
Okay.
I know he's meeting with them as it is, so.
Now,
But-
the other thing we talked about last month is that you asked, or I think you were going to interview or do something with each member of the facilities committee
Mm-hmm.
to put a little blurb together to get it out somewhere.
We're gonna put that in the newsletter coming up,
Now,
yep.
are you doing an interview of the membership, or do we have to write something up ourselves and submit it to you? What's the process you want us to go through?
So.
I mean, I can give you a lengthy one, I don't, how long do you want it, how short do you want it, what are you looking to hear, what are you looking to read? I mean,
I think it's nice if you can just give me a little blurb. This was Artie's, who just started at the front desk. Lakeisha was the month before. So we just like people to know if they want to reach out. I'll do a little header about the facilities committee when we meet. Everyone's invited, how to get in touch. And then if you want to do one a month, or if you want to do all of you, fine with me. However you want to do it, we can work it into the
how
newsletter.
long and how, what's the length of message that you wanna get out there? a
Well, that's the
biography?
thing about our newsletter.
I can give you my obituary.
Less than 4 pages anyway, right?
Listen.
We don't need the memoir.
Huh?
So I don't have a length. Our newsletter is, some weeks some months it was 2 pages, some months it's 4, 1 month it was 6, could be 8. So if we have more information, and as we're starting up, I think this is important to get in there. So
Okay,
I probably don't need your whole,
I understand.
but just really your
I mean, I-
background and what you're looking
I
for.
mean, I served on 7 committees in town, where you
But
want.
I think that's important for them to know,
Sounds
because
great.
that's what you bring to the table. So things like that I think are
Okay,
important.
I'll put something together and get it out to you.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
send that right to me.
Okay,
Not
thank
the
you.
batting average.
No,
that might be
I can't
important
put
to
that in,
some.
it's too low.
Add an extra 0 to the decimal.
Yeah, right.
The,
One other thing, if I may,
Sure, you may.
Brian. Where are we with pickleball? I think that you had some issues with Ralph with the Tuesday, I think the community center. Has it been resolved, and where are you with that? Because that was a discussion that you brought up at the last meeting.
It has been basically resolved, although it's stalled again because Eric apparently is ill and needs to meet with the town administrator to get it approved. But we now, supposedly by the selectmen, we have it approved for Tuesdays and Thursdays,
So they're opening up the gym every day for pickleball.
despite some,
When do you begin that?
that's what we're waiting to hear.
From Eric?
We've lost another 2 or 3 weeks now because it's been so darn long and so much.
I will remind Eric of that when
Yeah,
I see him.
he's out ill,
I
as I
know.
understand it.
Yeah.
But,
He was here yesterday, but I don't think he's here today.
Okay. we had a couple of obstacles in our way as we tried to get Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I will deal with the rec commission on it and make sure that we get that followed through.
They've reluctantly agreed to do it.
Okay, well, we'll do
Thanks
it
to them.
without the reluctance, hopefully.
so Carolyn, the annual report?
Yes, it goes into the town report. I've included in your packet, if you would like to take a look. It mostly is what we present to the selectmen. It's just an updated version of that. So we continue with, our meeting was, I believe, in September, so this is the rest of the information. And it's really just an overview of what's happening in the building. So if you wanna take a look at that, if you want any changes, just let me know. It is due, I think next week, so I can send it over.
This is the one you gave us last month, correct?
And I put one in this packet here. There
Okay.
should be one, the
Okay.
newer one
The
that's
newer one.
updated. Yep.
Okay, I'll look at that. Thank you.
Thank you. So I just wanted you to have that information. And again, if there's something that you want or anything different, please let me know. And gosh, please, I always like you to check my grammar and spelling. I like 20 people to check it. That's just,
It is my favorite thing to do.
it is, so get your red pens out. I take no offense, I appreciate it.
So, our birthday next month.
It is our birthday next month, so we started with doing in January, we're doing Friday night movies, and you have a flyer for that. So tonight, we have a little movie coming up, and Lakeisha, who is new, although she's been here for a month now, so you don't get that title new anymore, is doing the movies on Friday night, and we have little packs made for kids to come in, that individual packs, so they don't have to share popcorn, things like that, so, and it's just a free event for families. We're just trying to give them something to do. Cold weather, they probably can't be out. We've spaced the room apart so you can sit together as a family, but there's room between you, so, again, just another event, trying to do more for families in the community, free. And then the big birthday event is February 5th. You may have heard tell of ducks in the town of Harwich. They are hidden. There are 22 of them hidden all around town. And these ducks have become very popular. I think I get at least 5 phone calls a day asking if I'll give hints or if I'll just tell them where it is. And the answer is no, I'm not.
You can't be bald, is that?
I cannot, not for that, no.
Who hid them? Did you hide them?
I am going to say yes, there was one other person that hid them with me, but,
Can we talk right after this meeting then, you and I?
again, these things.
I think the facilities committee might be exempt from being able to collect a duck.
I don't know.
So we have had, it's been wonderful. We have had all ages, families come together. We've had people come in that are searching. We've had people that were actually cleaning in an area. They do that every day. And they were all upset because they thought someone left a big pack of something and they found a duck and they got a prize. And so it's been wonderful. I think just about half of the ducks have been returned. They all have to be turned in by February 5th.
Whose idea was this?
Uh-oh.
I'm just curious.
It would be mine.
It was successful.
Oh, I always get worried. Am I in trouble?
Oh,
Oh.
was last year the fairy houses?
We do fair. I like to do things that are free and outside for families. And this has been a fun one, so we're gonna try and grow it, but on February 5th, everyone is invited into the gym. You get a free duck, little ducks, and we're gonna have a duck toss. We have, ducks made up, you've probably seen some, they have targets on them. Everyone puts their name on the bottom of the duck and you toss it. If you land on the bullseye, you win a prize. So
What time is that, Carolyn?
it starts at 1 o'clock in the gym, and because of the COVID and sharing food, we were gonna do cupcakes and things for our birthday, but that's kind of on hold until we see where we are, but it'll be fun no matter what we do, so.
Good.
But yes, we're excited. The ducks have been a lot of fun. And people have really responded to it. I did just talk a little bit, I've included in the packet, the information from the health department about the mask mandate, just in case you get asked about it. We did post it all over. Again, we're just following the town's policy, and trying to keep everyone safe.
Exactly, that's all we can do.
Yeah. My last thing under the director's update is I am thinking, we used to do it a long time ago, Larry might remember, we used to invite all of the clubs and organizations to come into the building and do like an open house, so that if you're interested in finding out what a selectman does, what the newcomers are about, we just have the building open with people set up and provide food and people to come in and talk, and I just feel like we should get the word out there more about what we're doing and what can be done here. We have our activities booklet, but this is more of a live conversation that you can have with somebody. So I was hoping we could do something like that in March. I'm trying to really do some different events. We're gonna keep doing all the ones that we have done. One of the ones that we are trying to do and just working out some of the logistics is, one of the things that we get asked the most about is shredding. It's not offered in the town of Harwich, and we have done it before. We've partnered with somebody, and I do have a group that's interested in coming, a company. It's just working out contracts and things like that, but
Right.
shredding is a big thing.
Yeah,
It's
they
not-
go up to UPS, the only place that I know of.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have, try and do that, and I am trying to work with the town about it, and
Fascinated that people want, well, I mean,
I know
I have
that
my
the
own shredder,
Council on
so
Aging gets that
I
a
do too.
lot of questions on that. I get that. I think it's one of the services people would like to see. I'd love to be able to do it on a, you know, whether it's a yearly basis, like in April, right after you finish doing all your taxes and you have to get, people want to make sure that their things are destroyed.
What if we had one in the, what if we had one of those machines in the center, and we charged them like UPS does, okay? And they bring their materials in here whenever they have anything to shred, and we charge them based on whatever the rates are that, for shredding, and just have a container here somewhere and let them do that. We have space to be able to do that here?
So I'm
Is
gonna
that
say
something
something.
you feel uncomfortable about?
It is, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not looking
I'm
to
sure
run
there's
a-
legalities.
I'm not looking to run a business or
Right.
interfere with any town businesses.
I hear you.
But I do think that there are some people that can't afford that or just have it once a year, and so if you did that, I think a once a year type of event might be important
Yeah,
to do.
so, and not charge them if that's your
Yeah, I
concern.
think that the more that we
Yeah.
can do, I have a lovely gift account from people who have
Right.
given money so that we can do these kind
Yeah.
of programs.
Have a shredder brought in for the day and,
Exactly, the
yeah.
truck, and you are responsible,
Yeah.
you put it in.
Yeah.
The town administration did ask me to check with our insurance company, and I did do that. There is no extra, insurance needed, so it's strictly the cost of
it's
the.
another service we provide the community.
I think
really.
that that's what we're trying to
Yeah.
do is, you know, make sure that if that's what people need, like, and it's not that expensive, and we have the money in our gift account, let's meet some of those needs, and
Right.
this would be a need across the board, so.
You know, the issue of, not an issue, but the discussion you just had about the bringing in the clubs and organizations, why don't we think about something like the men's club when they have their breakfast? Okay, provide a breakfast if we can.
We can't right now.
Okay, that's the problem.
Yeah,
And then have the various organizations get up and say
Yeah.
who we are and what do we do, and give them each 10 or 15 minutes to be able to put on a little presentation and, you know.
yeah.
If you
I
don't have a
definitely-
breakfast, can you hold it in the multipurpose room and do it without a breakfast? And
Right,
maybe
that's
just
what I'm
have coffee
looking
and
at.
donuts or something like that?
What
We
we
did that
can do-
before, and it was very well attended.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We just had tables sit around,
yeah,
and people walked and.
yeah, and then you get each organization that wants to say something, let them get up and say 10
Right.
minutes or 5 minutes and who we are and what we do, and if you need us, we have a assist service, if you need us, here we are.
and on that, I would like us to do something, just to make it more exciting. Maybe we do an auction that day, and if you're the quilters, maybe you have a quilt that you're gonna auction off, and so that it gets people
Yeah.
people like to come out and support, and so things like that. So I'm
Exactly.
trying to grow that
Mhm.
program, but I'm looking for that March, April, so, I'll bring back more information on that.
And that, you could even tie that into the, when we have the tables for
Right,
um,
clubs and
yeah,
organizations,
the
yeah.
flea market that they do.
Yeah.
You know, the clubs and organizations are raising monies for their fees and stuff
Right.
like that. So,
Exactly, yeah, the yard sale.
the yard sale, thank you.
That's okay. So those were my things. I'm happy to, if anyone has other.
Larry, anything from the selectmen that we need to be aware about?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
We're just
just-
going through the normal budget season right now.
Good luck with that.
Larry, where are we with all of the CPC articles that have been approved? And, you know, we've got to get RFPs on all that, a lot of stuff for Brooks
Well,
Park.
as Carolyn says, those have all been submitted, and, we've, you know, most of those have come to us to, get our input. And so the deadline, I sound like the national politician, I don't know what the deadline is, coming up pretty quick. It's a couple weeks, those will be.
I know the lighting at
The
Brooks
warrant-
Park.
The draft, the warrant is due, I think, February 5th or 12th, something like that. So that would be when we'll see the CPC articles in there.
I'm talking about last year's for this year now, that were
Last-
already approved. The ones that were already approved
Right.
for implementation, for project construction, like the lights at Brooks Park and the pickleball courts and the other basketball court, all that we had put through the rec department, and they all been, you know, have they been, RFPs gone out on those, you know?
They've gone through the CPC.
Yeah, but your question's different. They've
Yeah.
already been approved in the RFPs. You know, Vaughn,
Excuse me.
I actually have that information because Dave Nixon gave it to us on Monday night. past status, and so, what I can do is, I can get that to you. I don't think I have that with me, I can give that to Carolyn.
Okay.
I can put it,
Because he has all where the action is going back to 2012 or something.
Right.
You know, forever. And it's obviously not confidential, so I'll send that, and that'll be the update of where which one's been approved.
Good.
You know, we've gotten way behind on, don't exaggerate, we've gotten behind on fulfilling getting these projects ongoing for a variety of different reasons. But with Joe and Griffin before that and staff and Carol, we're pretty much,
Mhm.
we're getting close to being caught up to getting
Good.
the approved ones in place now.
Yeah. Okay,
The ball
thank you.
field was, of course, that was one of the great, problem. The lighting,
Yeah. I'm talking about the Brooks Park,
yeah.
program that we put together for this fiscal year, last fiscal year,
I know.
that was approved at last town meeting. There are a lot of things going on
You know
with
what?
Brooks Park, and we want to see if we can get that going.
What was your exact question? What I'll do is Carolyn, I'll let you, if you can scan this,
sure.
you don't need to do it now, but just email it to everyone.
I'll be happy to do that. I will do that, sure. I'll do it right after the meeting.
Because this has the update. Which article are you interested in? You have the, Article-
No, I'm looking at articles, I'm looking at the CPC, approved, funding for projects at Brooks Park.
right,
Again, we put in for pickleball courts, a basketball court, new lighting. And I guess we're waiting for the RFPs to be written and sent out.
right.
And I think we got the lighting done.
The lighting's done.
Yeah, the lighting is done, but the rest of it is not done because we're still waiting for some RFPs on that, on those projects. That's separate projects. And of course, there's a fencing down Memorial, there's fencing at Brooks Park, baseball field for the kids.
And those
So-
are all approved, it's a matter of getting the
Yeah.
RFPs out, but
Yeah,
that's been.
that's what we're looking for, the RFPs to get out. Thank you.
Okay, Ralph, anything?
On the makeup of this committee, are we still short of people? In other words, is Sean still on this committee?
As far as I know, Sean is still a member of the committee. I've not been told anything else.
Right, I can't say I know the procedure when somebody hasn't shown up for such an extensive period of time.
It's supposed to be 3 consecutive meetings without an approved reason for their absence.
Okay,
And after 3 consecutive meetings, as I understand it, they're not attending, and they'll give you a legitimate reason why. It could be health issues or anything else, which is legitimate. Then you have a right to ask to be removed and replaced by another person.
okay,
And you make that request to the select.
You're right.
okay.
I'd really like to see us fill a vote here, because, there are just the 3 of us, and if one of us doesn't show up,
Well, we have
Angie's
Angie
here,
too.
yeah.
well, Angie, yeah, of course, Angie.
She
Yeah,
did
we-
tell us she had a doctor's
And that's
appointment
fine.
today, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like last when I was in Florida.
So when you have 5 members, we have 5, it's a 5-member
Correct, you're a
board, so
5-member board.
you need 3 for, you need
Correct.
3
Right.
for the quorum.
Yes,
Okay. And who are the 3? 1, 2, 3 right now.
Right.
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you have a full committee of Sean attend?
Right.
Is that where you are?
but we just haven't had Sean, I couldn't tell you the last time Sean was in a
It's
meeting.
been a while. It's been a long
But
while.
then again, we hadn't had a meeting forever, so, does he still feel he's a member? I guess that's the question,
I'm happy to reach out to Sean if you'd like.
you know? Maybe just before the next meeting to
Sure.
remind him of it.
What's
and
his
say,
status?
you know,
What is
say,
your status? Where are you at? And, you
Right.
can ask them nicely, where you at? We miss you and we'd like to see you attend. And if you can't, give us some reasons why you cannot attend and we'll take it from there.
right, and if he's still interested in being a member of the committee. If he's
Of course.
not, then we'll be happy to, push it out to the selectmen and see if we can get somebody else.
Be happy to do that.
Good.
Okay.
Now, do you, I was just gonna ask you, Brian, if I may, do you have anything else that you want the committee to respond to or to be aware of or that we wanna help you with?
My one thing is that your next meeting is February 11th, which you're welcome to have. I will not be here. So if you'd like to change the meeting, I can help you there, but if you'd like to have it without me, I'll get everything ready for you in
I
advance.
think you should be here, so if we
I
want,
always
yeah,
think she should be here,
absolutely.
so.
you know, we can, when are you available? Just set another date
The
for,
committee will push it either up or back, which,
If you go up 1 week, that would be the 4th, and I can certainly, I'm here that day, no problem.
what's the other day you have available?
I can be here the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 7th, the 9th. And then the other one would be the last one.
How about the Friday before the 11th? Can you be there?
That's the 4th.
Yeah.
why don't we do it on the 4th then?
Okay. I will.
I
Day
was-
before the birthday
I was
party.
gonna suggest making it a little later, because that's really not a lot of time from right now, not a lot of things are gonna happen.
So I'm
Well,
away
yeah.
from the 11th through the 18th, so the next Friday would be the 25th.
Well, let's go to the
That would be my
25th.
suggestion, but again,
Okay, no,
Yeah,
that's
do the
fine.
25th.
February
If you wanna
25th?
say the 25th, the 25th it is.
we'll have more to talk about, I think, then, for one thing.
It'll just be tighter between the 25th and the March whatever meeting,
Yeah, right.
so, which is fine. Yes.
Okay.
We definitely want you here. It's,
Thank you, I feel,
You know,
Thank
your input is.
You're the integral part of this.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
thank you, and I
And you will
will,
reach out for Sean and see if he's gonna be,
I will do that,
Yeah.
and I will put it in the,
great.
information that I send out, but I will actually call right after this meeting.
Okay.
You need anything else from us?
I think that we're doing okay in the building. I certainly always ask you if there's something you'd like to see. We are trying to do more free and creative programs, but things that can be outside, that everyone can partake of. So you'll see us doing more of these kind of hunting duck things. Fairies will be back, I'm sure. I just think it's nice to see people getting involved.
Yeah, once we get
so.
the weather going in our direction, we can do a lot of that.
Absolutely, sure.
There's nothing particular, for Valentine's Day, I assume, no particular plan for that,
There's not, I'm not a big,
yeah. Not
I
much,
think that program that Emily's doing is excellent. I
Yeah.
think that it should be for everyone, and
Right.
it feels very limited.
yeah, I'm not suggesting it, I'm just wondering how you.
No,
yeah,
we,
talk to it.
we will be doing the ducks in February, the duck throw, February 5th.
Right.
Yeah,
We have the party,
Yeah,
the birthday party.
22 years young, the building.
I know. Still sad that the COVID has ruined so many birthday parties.
Brian, could I ask Larry, from this Board of Selectmen's perspective, is there anything that
No,
you think?
Carolyn asked me that, it's going fine, working on budgets
Yeah.
and getting the warrant articles are
Okay,
big issues at the moment.
okay.
Okay, I guess I'll
Appreciate
entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
and I would second.
Okay, 10:43, official Apple time.
I must be off.
And you're
Ron,
all,
what I have doesn't answer your question, I'll find that out.
Yeah, we're just
Thank you,
looking at
Jamie.
where we are with
Thank
RFPs,
you,
Larry,
Jamie.
so, and I gotta see you for a minute,
But
okay?
the list I have is,
I'm
all
talking about.
articles that have been approved, that, we don't need that, you wanna know.
Do you wanna stay here and meet?
Sure.
Huh?
Okay. Can I
Okay.
use the room for a minute? I wanna talk to
I'm
Larry.
sure you can, I'm
Yeah.
sure, of course.
so don't be